Hi there, and welcome to Draw With Me. Happy Boxing Day, and happy end of Christmas season. Is that happy? What do you think?
I think it is. I think at this
Think we're
point,
done?
we've been hearing these tunes since about around July the 4th now, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the exit.
It's enough. You get the point.
We need to go on a diet. We need to have dry January.
We have so much confection in our kitchen right now. I mean, how many different things did you bake?
I made a number of things. I made fudge. I made little pecan tassies, which are like little 2-bite pecan pies. I made gingerbread men. My sister made oatmeal cookies, oatmeal raisin.
Our neighbor.
Our neighbor gave us a bunch of like little lemony things, and I mean, it's just somebody gave us English toffee.
I'll be going to the dentist later today.
Yeah. We better get riding on that Peloton.
I know.
Ride,
it's true.
Ride, halfway around the world.
My New Year's resolutions are awaiting me. So it's nice that it is Boxing Day today, which means that for a lot of us, not us, but a lot of you get to not work today.
Yeah.
And we have folks from all over. We have Danielle, who is in Wiltshire in England.
Probably having Boxing Day, if I were to guess, or had it.
Yes. We have an Nordenstam Hotmail in Stockholm, and Photo Vincent in the Netherlands, who's surprised that we're here.
We try to show up.
We try to show up.
Yeah.
Gesha in Denmark, Hiteshri in India. I'm butchering these names, sorry. April in, I'm not sure where, but she's glad that she's here.
Jen from the Philippines, I saw.
Jen, and also Tbilisi is represented by Ellery.
Amazing.
So, yes. Excellent. It's nice to see you all. And I don't know. You kind of came up with today's theme. Do you want to talk a bit about it?
Yeah, I think it was sort of a riff on back in October we did a haunted mansion.
That's true.
And I think it was nice spending a time on a structure. Feel like that's a thing that maybe we sprinkle in on the sort of regular, right? And last week, of course, we did the Nutcracker, which that was so cute. And
so cute.
some people liked the music and other people didn't, but that's neither here nor there. But, when we do a collection of things, I sometimes think it's nice then the following week to spend time on one thing, right?
It's true. In a little bit of sort of urban sketching-ish stuff.
Right.
It's not a great season here in the Northern Hemisphere for urban sketching because it's chilly and wet. But, hope we have some more people from... rattle through some new people. Lithuania, Istanbul, Northern Germany, another person from the Philippines, Manila.
Wonderful.
And another person from Georgia, and somebody from Iceland.
Awesome.
So and that's very nice. And of course,
and I think I've seen just about every state, honestly.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I'm not sure I saw Colorado, weirdly. Or Nevada. Nevada doesn't show up
Now
often.
15 people will pop up saying that.
Come on!
Okay, good.
Come on! You're our neighbors. You're an AZ.
Yes. Shape Showdown says these types of videos are more like living with you and your drawings rather than just learning. So happy someone makes such content.
Yeah, that's good.
It is kind of like living with us. You live with us. What do you think?
Well, we're online enough that you might feel like we're like annoying neighbors.
It's true. Well, we're back, and okay. So what we decided to do was to take just a cozy cottage. Thinking about the Boxing Day, sort of just the sweet coziness of after the holidays are done. You have a day where you can just kind of be at home and sit by the fire and
we got some books. We got books that we want to read.
Right.
And I like thinking about having that nice hearth and all the comfort of the tranquility of when it's snowy outside.
And here it's dipped down to below 70 degrees. It's really wearing a
We're
sweater.
freezing. We're freezing.
It's freezing. So I found this picture that I thought was kind of nice. Whoops, what happened to it? Let me just get it up here. Well, I didn't find it as it turned out.
Come back. come
I
back.
had it here before.
Oh, do you want to
this
say
one?
hi
Here it
to
is.
everybody?
Here
Look,
it is. So,
it's a bug.
yes, here she is. And, she has a story to tell, Clover. Yesterday we had a beautiful smorgasbord set up on one of our tables.
Charcuterie.
We were sitting inside. We had some food outside. Suddenly, we all start screeching because Clover was up on the table eating prosciutto.
All of it. Small dog. Large prosciutto spread. Yeah. She didn't get sick, but she's now like aware
Of prosciutto.
of that, and that table is a giver. So we found her up on the table multiple times since. She's still a puppy. How long are we going to make that excuse for?
I know. Okay, so good. Sorry, let me just get this back. Here we go. Okay, so here is the picture that I found, and this is in the Cotswolds, I think, in England.
Now, where does your family, or do they live near the Cotswolds?
My family is originally from London, but we have some family. Some of them live in Oxford, some of them live in Nottingham, but we don't hail originally from any of those places. So now we have this picture. I'm just going to make it bigger for a second, and then I'm going to make it smaller again so we can see the drawings. But as you can see, it's like a little kind of English village, salted with snow. And what I like about this picture also is the color kind of range, which is these nice sort of oranges and the blue of the sky, the orange of the clouds. So it's kind of nice oranges and blues and maybe purples. So a nice sort of combination of complementary colors. And April says that Oxford is on the edge of the Cotswolds. Yeah. So there we have it. I've never actually been to Oxford, even though my dad lived there. My sister lives there, and my other uncle went to school there. But no, I didn't. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to try and make this big. Excuse me? What's going on over there? So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do a drawing first. Quick drawing. I want to keep this loose. And then I'm going to come in and hit it with some watercolor.
Right, so just the one today.
Just one
Full
picture.
Page.
One picture, full
Spend
page.
time.
Spend some time, relax, be cozy. If you have some cozy music you want to play, I will not be making the mistake of playing music again. My DJing days are over.
A lot of people liked it.
I'm glad that we did it. I think it was nice to have Tchaikovsky playing when we were drawing his characters, but
we always try to just do different things. We try to mix it up for you.
And I have to be honest, as an artist, listen to all kinds of music. Don't be closed-minded about anything. I'm working on this course, the Creative License, right now, putting it together. It's going to launch in a week or so. And one of the things that I really try to emphasize in this book that I wrote and also in this course is, as artists, we've got to be exposed to as much stuff as possible. And having preconceptions about stuff, it's just limiting, and it closes your mind to things, and you shouldn't be. I'm always amazed when people say, I never liked jazz, I never listened to classical music, I never listened to hip hop. It's just whatever. It's so boring. And you're not that interesting. You're not made more interesting by being closed-minded about stuff. So, just open up your mind, loosen up, and listen.
Speaking of music,
Yes.
I'm going to issue forth probably an incendiary comment.
Here we go. Okay.
So
Remember when I was the one who caused these controversies? Now it's you.
So last night we watched the Bob Dylan movie, A Complete Unknown. This movie has nothing but positive reviews. People are, and of course, it's an important artist. I recognize him as a genius. We were interested because they filmed it in and around the streets where our Greenwich Village, New York apartment was, so it felt like that was going to feel a bit of nostalgia of seeing our old hood. I don't know, guys. I certainly don't regret
But you don't like
seeing...
Bob Dylan.
No, but it's not that. I don't regret seeing...
It is that.
It isn't. I just thought it was a really boring film. It was a really boring film.
It was pretty boring. It was. I'm not sure what the point of it was. I used to really dislike Bob Dylan, and then I opened my mind to him, and then I realized that I really liked him. And one of the things I will say that's nice about this film is they reveal an aspect of Bob Dylan that I picked up when I read his memoir, which I really liked, and it was about how he loves all kinds of music. And
Right.
part of this movie is about kind of like
Having an open mind.
yeah, it's about
and
the
changing.
but it's about these like people who are the folk music enthusiasts, who were kind of reigning supreme at that brief moment.
Well, and they
in
were so
American
very,
history.
very,
They were
put out by the fact that he was going to use an electric guitar.
but not just that, but they express the analogy that Pete Seeger uses in the movie is he says, basically we're fighting this losing battle, or we've lost this battle long ago for this kind of music, and we seem to be reclaiming it. And he's basically begging Bob Dylan, now that he's famous, to not
Rock the boat.
not crush it, in its infancy. And Dylan's attitude is basically like, I got to do what I got to do, and I'm just interested in other stuff, and that's your problem. And I totally agree with Dylan on that, but he is completely open-minded, and that's what I really liked about this book. I have to say, read that book. In fact, in Creative License, I wrote a big essay about that book because I just think it was.
Are you talking about the work?
Am I talking about what?
The book, the work?
I'm talking about Bob Dylan's memoir.
Oh, Bob Dylan's memoir. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, folks.
yeah. So I really, it was called. What was it called? I forget the name of it exactly. There's only one of them, so you won't struggle finding it. But it was called Volume 1.
Was it autobiography?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
It's
Okay.
his memoir, and it's Volume 1, and he never did Volume 2, which to me is very Bob Dylan too. It's just like, whatever, I do my thing,
Yeah.
and this is.
Been there, done that.
I
Moving
think
on.
one of the great lines in the movie is like, he says, I've got to be me, basically, and I don't want to be stifled. And so another character says to him, so what is it you want to be? And he says, whatever they don't want me to be. Which, I don't know.
Vandana said it's called Chronicles.
Chronicles, yes, that's right.
Thank you.
It's a pretty boring title. Could have done better, but I don't know. I spent so many years just not having any interest in Bob Dylan and thinking that he was just like a certain kind of goober. But I allowed somebody to kind of force me to listen to it, and then I ended up liking it. Anyway, that's nothing to do with coziness. We're trying to get cozy here.
Your reference is like a little over your hand. I don't know. Do you want to make it?
There's nothing I can do, honestly.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to make it small.
That's always the problem I have with. I usually try to find reference that's vertical, but I don't know what to do. When it comes to a landscape, you kind of got to have a horizontal picture. So I'll try to move around. And if you'd like to see the back of my hand up close, there it is. And now it's missing because I'm hiding it behind this picture. But I'll be glad to send you an 8x10 glossy photograph of the back of my hand because I know it quite well. I know it, in fact, like the back of my hand.
So, this scene is giving me real Ian Fennelly vibes.
It's funny you say that.
One of our favorite artists who did a bunch of workshops with us and just takes a street scene like this and breaks it down. It's like such a good teacher. I learned a lot from him.
He's doing a lot of. I saw that he's teaching a course on drawing zoo animals in his style, which is great. Yeah, he's fantastic, and he is now teaching a lot of online courses of his own. So, if you've never taken a class with Ian, he's great. He also teaches in our class called Watercolor Rules. But he has a very particular technique that he uses, which I think is really helpful for how to break a complicated scene like this down into its component parts. It's kind of different from what I'm doing. He's really a watercolorist. So I've totally screwed up this part of it here. How does this go? This part comes... Oh, that's why, because this is part of that. Oh, okay, now I get it.
Get it? Got it? Good.
As soon as you get lost in this kind of architecture, it's not, I mean, it's a complex scene, but it's really not very complicated to draw in the sense that it's basically a bunch of kind of squares and triangles and stuff. And as far as perspective goes, I'm screwing up the perspective right now by making this building a lot more compressed than it really is, but I don't really care.
So there you have it.
Well, it's fine. I mean, I'm just enjoying tracing these different things. I mean, you could get into a whole thing where you like really took measurements, and sometimes I'll do that, take measurements and really make sure that you have the perspective correct. And
I mean, I think there's a lot to be said for, I mean, there's certainly a lot to be said for, like, if you're urban sketching, spending a good deal of time. But I think there's also something to be said for, I mean, we know we only have an hour and we take up a certain amount of that just yakking. So you're going pretty fast, right?
I am.
And if you make a mistake, then you just deal with it, right?
That's true. And I'm going fast because that's how I go. Whenever I don't particularly like going out with urban sketching groups because I just don't have the patience to kind of.
But you used to. I think that's part. You just sort of.
I like to hang out with those people, but I don't like drawing with other people if I have to work at their pace.
Well, because you're antisocial.
That's far from the case. Don't tell people that I'm antisocial. What are you talking about?
Well, you're like, I don't like drawing with other people.
I don't like drawing with. I like hanging out with other people. I don't like drawing with them because it's to me it's like it's just a thing that I do a certain way, you know. So and I do it at a certain speed. So it's to me not a particularly social activity. It is it's a fun thing to do. But
all right, now you're fully behind the reference.
Right now I'm gonna move.
I think when we first met 1 million years ago, we were working in the same ad agency, and Danny, of course, was married to his first wife, Patty, and just, you know, wasn't that we had any.
Are you going to start showing photographs and love notes next?
No, but I was going to say it wasn't like we were having any kind of a, you know, love match. It was you invited me to go on a sketch crawl at the Natural History Museum. And it was a huge group of people, and I had only moved to New York, so it was a really nice way to meet people.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I'm saying once upon a time, it was a thing you did. Time-stamped. 2005.
How can I do that? I'm going to have to make this picture a little bit smaller. I just don't know how to do it otherwise. There we go.
Do you want to put it full screen and people can screenshot and then make it more mini?
I'll do that temporarily. I will leave it up here because I'm drawing from it. But yeah, if you want to screenshot it, there you go. There's a screenshot. Grab it.
Grab it. Get it.
Grab it. And now I'm going to make it smaller again. So now it's back to being small. Half screen. Yeah, I wish I knew a better way of doing this. Of managing this screen real estate. It's difficult just because the proportions of the screen are inevitably 1920 by 1080. There's not much you can do about it to change that. But I'm not sure how you're approaching this. I mean, there's some people who would sketch this whole thing all over. They would just do, you know.
Linda says, I'm finding this very difficult. I'm drawing Wonky Town. And
Wonky
Adrian
Town, as long as
said,
it's
with
cozy.
you, Linda, I live in Wonky Town.
Well, look, the way I'm looking at it is I'm just drawing each shape. So right now I'm drawing, here's a triangle. And then there's a line that goes across the thing. And then there's another line here. I'm just copying each line. You know, there's a lot of lines, but don't let that intimidate you because they're all pretty basically just little straight lines. And, you know, if you take your time and you just look at what is in front of you, I promise you it's not as challenging as it would seem just because there's a lot of it. And as you can see, my perspective is already off. Like, for instance, this chimney here should really be at the height of this, which you can't even see. But it should be as high as that, and it isn't. So what's ending up happening is I'm making this look like it's kind of further away, which is fine. it's not, but I'm not working for the Chamber of Commerce. You could also, make stuff up too. If you suddenly are like, oh
Well,
no.
Ian Fennelly does that for sure, right?
Yeah, it's just like you suddenly go, oh, I left out some windows, or oh shoot, I left this part out. Just draw in, make up some other thing that goes in there. Who's going to know? It's not.
Oh.
Nobody's going to come and check your work. See if you got it right.
I mean, Tommy Kane does these incredible street scenes where he makes all of the buildings sort of like curved.
It's true.
Like they look like they're bending. It's very cool. Of course, nobody that I personally know spends more time on a drawing than Tommy Kane. He can sit and work on something with intense concentration and just spend hours and hours. And his drawings show it. They're incredibly cool.
He's mentally ill, but yes, it's true.
No, he really just has that ability to sort of tune out the rest of the world and just have that intense focus.
So here's the thing.
Don't
because of
don't
my
lick me on the mouth.
that I drew this kind of frame on this picture beforehand. Now I ended up running out of space. Not running out of space. I have too much space, you see? So there's this gap here.
Well, what are you going to do
Pictures
about the
in it.
road?
What am I going to do about it?
Yeah, doesn't the road go through there?
Of course.
Oh.
So I'm just kind of adding on and making up parts of this building because I wanted to fill in this frame. And I'm just figuring out like, oh, well, there's probably like a bit of a little mini roof here and there's some kind of a window thing. And again, it doesn't really matter. So now this road is sort of like it goes here, then it swoops kind of back there, and then this part of the road comes forward, and it sweeps and comes kind of directly at us. So there, that road is not. Let's see this. So I'm just going to. I screwed up the perspective on this part of it, so I'm just going to kind of add in some more additional buildings to fill it in. I did, if you're a member of this channel, you might have seen some drawings that I did not long ago that are kind of in the ballpark of this thing because I was inspired by one of our favorite TV shows, which is All Creatures Great and Small.
Which is coming back.
Coming back, yeah. And so I wanted to draw kind of just a typical Yorkshire little town from the 1930s. And I did a series of drawings on bright yellow paper like that. And now I'm going to draw this hill in the background.
Ishrudev is asking which pen you're using.
As usual, I'm using the Tombow Funisake WSBH 150. Which is, of course, magic. I'm going to draw in a kind of a little cloud here to kind of balance that out. And yeah, I'm pretty good with this. I'm going to turn off this picture for 1 second just so that you can see my whole picture. So there's the whole picture. And
How do you think you're going to manage the snow?
well, fortunately I have a lot of snow-colored paint
Good.
that I can use. So, yeah. All right. Putting this back up so we can all see it. And yeah, I'll just move it over here a bit. I'm sorry, I'm going to make it a bit smaller.
Interesting, there are no peeps in this image.
No, it's just a landscape. It's snowing. Nobody wants, they don't want to be, they're all at home being cozy. Right?
I mean, the sky does not reflect snowing.
The ground does, though. Snowy.
It's snowed Ed.
Snowed.
Snow Ed. We had a lot of pictures from friends in New York. They got some snow Ed.
Yeah.
This is very nice. A white Christmas for NYC.
And isn't it like the first one in like 15 years or something?
I think so. It's been a while.
So I'm just going to have at it.
You're about halfway through.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. Yeah, because I might also come back in with some colored pencils.
Oh, sweetie.
I'm kind of going to make this more cheery, I think, than possibly it even is, just because that's how I feel.
Yeah. Maybe you need like a Christmas wreath on there or something.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah.
I like this kind of orange brick house. It's nice. Oh, I forgot this window.
Laura's asking about the pen. It's a Tombow Fudanasake.
I just explained it 1 second ago, but I'll do it again. Here
Well,
it
someone
is.
new is asking.
Okay, great. I'm sorry. Yeah.
People love pens.
People love pens. Here
We
it
love
is.
pens. Why would
I don't know if
you
you can see it.
withhold any
It's
pen?
the WSBH, it's called. The Tombow Fudanasuke. You can buy it on Amazon. $150. WSBH.
Yeah.
There's two kinds. There's a BH and there's a BS. Depending on how much BS you want in your work.
It's the only BS I want in my urban sketching.
Yeah, we did several workshops with Ian Fenley that were really great.
Not only is he a superb artist and a great teacher, he's the nicest guy.
So nice.
So nice.
So nice to work with. He did a course for us on a workshop on drawing a pub. That was really nice. Mm-hmm. And we also did one that was about the street in Liverpool.
The home of the Beatles.
The Beatles first played. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've left out a lot of stuff here. Left out all these windows. Well, as I said, I'm going to probably go back in with some watercolor. Some pencils if we have time. I can add some more details that way.
Linda is saying, what is the difference between the BS and the BH pens? Do we know?
Yes, soft and hard.
Ah.
Some be soft and some be hard. I mean, it's a pretty minimal difference. I use both of them kind of almost interchangeably, but that is the difference.
So what else have we done since the last time we saw everyone? We went out for a very fancy dinner, just the two of us on Christmas Eve.
8 courses.
It had been a while since we'd done such a thing, like a big, big splurge. We love food. It's no mystery to anyone because we talk about it
And
sort of endlessly. But we did. We went to a place that they serve a prefix, and it's many courses, and they're always sort of changing it up. Like the particular menu we enjoyed, they only have it, I think, for 2 weeks, and then they come up with something completely new and different.
But every course, the theme of it was different Christmas movies. So there was like a.
So the first course was a little piece of pizza with caviar on it, and that was inspired by Home Alone. And then there was like a duck breast. Oh no, there was the Chinese dumplings with mushrooms and long beans
from Christmas Story.
Christmas Story.
You may remember that they go out to a Chinese restaurant at the end of that movie.
Mm-hmm. And then it was like a duck breast with a duck scrambled egg and a little sweet potato kind of thing, and that was from.
Was it The Grinch? No, we had Roast Beast. It was from the
Yeah,
Grinch.
Roast Beast was The Grinch. What was the duck? The duck egg. It was. Well, anyway, you get the drift. But it was so nice, and we took an autonomous driving car to get there, so we could indulge ourselves in the wines on offer. Danny had a martini, and we just had the most delightful time. So that was really I would say that was our Christmas present to each other.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Big fancy dinner. And yeah, as mentioned, we now need to go on diets. I do feel like we have been snacking pretty hard in December, basically since Thanksgiving.
If I'm going to listen to endless Christmas music, I'm going to have to get some payoff.
So now, of course, we have Hanukkah, which in our house, as sort of secular people, we do celebrate it. And we try to have some kind of considered nice meal every night. We light the menorah, and
because you may remember the story from the Bible where for 8 consecutive days the miracle was that they went out to dinner every night.
We don't go out to dinner. We typically eat dinner at home, but we make an effort to not be what is the word that I'm looking? Mindlessly eating. Like set the table properly, have conversation, put a candle, not just the menorah, but like put candles on the table, have nice music playing, and it's just it's a tradition we always do. Typically, it happens before Christmas in the days leading up to Christmas. This year, Hanukkah started last night and goes until the 2nd. Andrea's talking about going to a yoga class on Christmas Eve.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I think that's good. I think we both went to our trainer on Christmas Eve. Just did it in the morning.
Preemptive.
We knew there were 8 courses on offer and a lot of wine.
There's a pug doing a lot of sighing back there.
It's 2 pugs sighing. One is insisting on being in my lap, and the other one...
It's either sighing or sawing.
Well, so we gave them both little chew toys, thinking that would occupy them while we were doing the show and that they wouldn't, start a rumpus. And Twiglet, the older dog, took all of the chew toys and gathered them into her bed and is laying on top of them. So I think that's why Clover is in my lap, because she was deprived.
Maybe we should give her some prosciutto.
In a prosciutto coma.
thought I was going to have purple in here. I don't know what happened to that. I ended up, maybe I'll make some purple.
I mean, orange and purple are or yellow and purple.
Yellow.
They appear often in your
Well, they're complements.
work. Yes, but I think that's your go-to, is what I'm saying. Rachel G says, I didn't leave room for sky. Funny she should say that because Ian Fennelly notoriously never puts in a sky.
That's true. I forgot about that. He doesn't know how to draw sky. That's why.
Clover's now snoring pretty close to my microphone. That makes it cozy, pug snoring.
That's true.
I love it when they snore. I love it when I'm reading a book and I got both of them snuggled up and they're snoring. It's the soundtrack of today's show. It's not Tchaikovsky, it's Clover snoring. Clover sleeps.
That's what makes it cozy, right? I think I might let this sit a minute.
Oh, she wakes. Hi. She smells real biscuity. She's like all snuggled up in my sweater, snoring, and she smells like a hot, fresh biscuit.
Well, they both had Christmas baths.
Yes, which they immediately became dirty again. Twiglet actually has like a dark, discolored spot. Twiglet has much lighter fur than Clover, and she has like a, I don't know if it's grease or what, because it doesn't just like wipe off. She's got a whole like flank with just looks like dirt, frankly, just dirt. All right, Mary is asking a provocative question.
Sure.
Is there a focal point on this image? Should there be? She's new to all this.
I think that I would say that there's a natural focal point, which is the road. The road leads you into the picture and leads you into the background, leads you, that way. So I would say that that's sort of the natural focal spot. Basically, there's a foreground, midground, and a background. And the foreground, because it's all angling in perspective-wise, is drawing your eye into kind of this point over here. So that is, look, I'm not a huge expert in this stuff. What do I know? But I would definitely say that road is functioning that way.
I mean, it's like roughly the middle, bottom third.
Well, there's also there's three kind of thirds, right? There's
right.
The sky, the village, the foreground. So, yeah. But this is part of the problem when you are doing something like this from a photograph, is the photographer kind of made some of these decisions for you, right?
He or she, they
composed this, and you're kind of just going along with their composition unless you make some decisions of your own. Like I slightly changed the composition. I kind of made it more extreme.
When you got that building on the right more into...
Yeah, I moved this guy in, and I squished this so that it kind of got small faster, which is a choice that I made. A choice I made because I screwed up. Yeah, it's often the motivation in my case. Yeah, so this is looking okay to me. It's looking a little anemic, so I'm just kind of going to sit and wait for a minute for it to dry. Maybe I'll hit it with hair dryer.
It kind of doesn't look like snowy and wintry.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? Kind of looks like you just chose to leave negative space.
So what is all that white then?
I mean, negative space, right?
Oh, I
It's
see what
just
you mean.
like,
Sort of, yep. I could probably, there are probably some things I could do to enhance that. I'm just going to turn down the volume for a minute while I do this. Alrighty. So now this is going to let me take some colored pencils.
now are you using colored pencils or watercolored pencils?
I'm just using regular colored pencils because it's possible I might want to go over these again with, but I can draw in like little bricks for some of these foreground ones.
So there are a lot of people in the chat who are telling you it looks lovely already.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it looks okay. I think when I look at it on camera, it looks different than it looks in front of me. But, and see, when it comes to doing something like this, like these little bricks that I'm drawing, you don't need to draw all of them. You can just draw a few. In fact, if you did draw all of them, it would start to look really overwhelming. The lines would. But if you just draw enough in there so that you get a sense that there's a texture, that's kind of nice. And I like to do that. So I'll just zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about here. So you see. And also because this paper is a little bit wet, it's still making things a little soft. And the fact that I'm not focused was also helping that. But yeah. But now I might take, say, a blue pencil. See how that works. Take a blue pencil. Maybe this one. See what happens if I do this. See, so now I can respond to what JJ was saying, which is like to put in just a bit more shadow into, and by putting in a little bit of shadow into the white here, it starts to look a bit more snowy. It doesn't just look like negative space. And again, because this is the complement to the orange, it kind of looks nice. But also think about the fact that this is the foreground, right? This is not, so the foreground, you might want to put in more detail than you do in the things that are further away from the camera. How are we time-wise? We have about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes, yeah.
So even here, like I could put in a green. Oops, sorry, can't even see what I'm doing. I could put in green here, but instead I'm going to use blue.
You think you're going to try to get any of those little trees in there?
I've got a lot of the trees in here. Don't you see them?
No.
Like I'm coloring one now.
Oh, I see.
That's what these green things are. What I like about laying colored pencil on top of watercolors, it just makes things... Watercolor is nice, but it's not as intense sometimes. And watercolor by itself, you end up getting too much texture that comes from the watercolor. So to me, from the pencil. So to me, I really like to combine the two in this kind of layering.
So just out of curiosity, what paper are you using?
I'm using the same sort of not very good Canson mixed media paper. You know, in an ideal world, I would have used better. This paper's already starting to curl up a little bit because it's not really watercolor paper.
But this is the same book you've been doing all your Draw With Me's in
all
lately?
All my Draw With Me's have been in the same book,
So
yeah.
some other people have said that they start a book and they do only Draw With Me's in their book.
That's nice.
Which is pretty cool.
So now, if we look back on this, you can see how this side is just, it's got more detail in it, it's got more energy, I think. You know, whereas back here, there isn't as much detail. So I don't want to put in too much detail because it is far away. You know, so it's, but I do want to keep it looking sort of interesting. So I might just make it just make my marks bigger. And also use the color pencil to intensify some colors, but it's not bad that the background is less intense because it's further away again. And then you take this whole background world, just want to put in a little bit of stuff in here, like little things, so it is a bit more interesting to look at. I'm not going to draw each of these trees. I'm probably not even going to really simulate where the snow is lying there, but I just want to have a bit of...
What about those like little footprints along the side of the road? You gonna treat those or just ignore them?
I don't think so because I like this kind of big open white shape. So I think I don't want to get into too much detail of all the things that I see in here. I want more. So then here we have this other side of this building. So I think I'll put in a bit more stuff in here just because it is kind of foregroundish.
Kind of looks like it could be the scene of a jigsaw puzzle. You know, we usually have a jigsaw puzzle going at the holidays, and we haven't done one this year. Maybe we need to get one.
Get one going?
Get one going.
I think it's honestly because I'm pretty busy doing this course. I just don't think of this as a particularly leisureful time, for me at least, but you should. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take the picture away now again, just to have a look at this overall thing. I don't know. Any thoughts, JJ?
I mean, I feel like the sky is something you could spend a bit more time on. I mean,
yeah, it's true.
It's such a big part of the photograph, and it just feels a bit like you blobbed it in.
I did blob it in.
Blob it. Blobby. Twiglet used to have a toy we called Blobby. R.I.P. Blobby.
I find that the more color that I'm putting up here, that I just don't want to make it look too dark. Because the picture is nice and light, but my sky is getting dark. So the light is very flat also in this scene. There's like barely any shadows, really.
That's true, actually. Well, the sun must be going down
It could be that.
because that
Well, it's
cloud
cloud.
looks like a sunset, right?
Yes, I think the sun is probably behind us.
Yeah, it's
But also-
over to the left.
Yeah. Because sometimes the light in the winter can be so harsh, right? It can be really
Contrasty.
directional, yeah.
Yeah. We had an amazing sunset on Christmas Eve here.
I think it's the best one we've ever had.
It's up. It was up there. It was up there. Phoenix, well, Arizona generally, it's pretty unbeatable when it comes to the sunset.
How's that? That's the picture we took.
Oh, are you putting us on the screen?
There, you see, that's us in front of our house. And look at that crazy sunset. Crazy, man. That was like 2 days. Was that no, day before.
2 days
yesterday.
ago, yeah.
Okay, I'm at that point that I often am with urban sketching, where I'm going to start to like massively overdo it by putting in too many details.
You don't have to
think I'm
keep going.
I think I'm going to stop.
You gonna do any lettering?
No.
You're done.
No. So what? Well, I think we should wrap it up. I think it was water.
Water from where?
The plants or something. I don't know.
That was very strange.
All right. We are going to wrap this up. We're rapping.
Wrap it.
We're rapping, man.
That's another kind of music we enjoy.
So, I'd love to see your cozy village. So please share it on Facebook or on Instagram and tag it #SBS Draw with me so we can show the whole processional of different interpretations of the scene. I write an essay every week, and Danny'sEssays.com is where you can sign up for it and get it. And in fact, this week I'm writing kind of a summary of everything we've done this year, which is kind of staggering.
A year
I mean,
contains a
just
lot of
on
stuff.
YouTube, just on YouTube.
Year contains a lot of stuff.
Ugh. Also, join and become a member. Next year, we're going to be doing a lot more fun stuff in the membership, and there's all kinds of exciting things in store. So you can join and become a member. I will give more details about that in the future, but in the meantime, there's a link below for how to do it, and I see that JJ also just put one here too. We have a brand new course that is about to be unleashed in a few days. It's called the Creative License, and I'm pretty excited about it. So it seems like a lot of people are. I see that Kate is also.
Yay!
Kate, I'm glad that you signed up for it. So yes, and what else? Subscribe to this channel, give us a thumbs up, do all the usual palaver. And anything else you want to say, JJ?
So when we see you next time, it's going to be January. So we'll
It'll be 2025.
We get to say see you next year.
We're in the mid-20s.
It's flying by.
2025.
Flying by.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Have a lovely New Year's, and see you again next time.
See you next week.
Bye.